Hey guys, welcome back to Sweat TV. My name is Charlie Atkins. I'll be your trainer, and if you are looking for a body weight booty class, then you've landed in the right place. Today we're going to be doing a warm-up followed by 2 sets of exercises to get you in and out while working on your booty. Let's go ahead and come on down to the mat for our warm-up. We're going to start with hip circles. So just taking the right knee through a giant circle. Now if you've been working out with me for a while, I really want you to think about slowing down these circles. If this is your first time doing hip circles, then I really want you to try and get your knee up and over a fire hydrant without spilling over onto the left side of your body. Wherever you're at in your circles, go ahead and reverse the direction. So since we are doing booty exercises, we want to make sure that the hips are nice and warm to get ready to take us through some movement. Taking the knee up and over and around the fire hydrant. Whenever you're ready, we'll switch sides. Not your first time doing these, try to go a little bit slower, try to get the knee a little bit higher if you can without spilling over onto the opposite side of the body. You can also really focus on bringing the knee towards the armpit or the elbow, and you should feel a little bit of movement that you need to happen. Go ahead and reverse the direction of your circle. Spread the toes in the shoes, try to pull the heel towards the booty. Try not to spill over onto the opposite side of the body. And then we'll head into some adductor rocks. So right leg is sticking out to the side, toes pulled towards the shin, bottom of the foot is not on the mat, and all you're doing is pressing the hips forward and backwards. You should feel a nice stretch all throughout the inner thigh. If you don't feel that stretch, really think about pressing the inside of your foot down into the mat. Also keeping the shoulders out of the ears, maintaining a nice posture, meaning straight line from the head all the way to the hips as you move the hips forward and backwards. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Same thing. If you want a little bit more, you'll notice that maybe one leg is tighter than the other. Try digging the inside of your foot down into the mat as you move the hips forward and backwards. Good. We got about 10 seconds, and then we'll head into kind of my 2 other favorite warm-up drills. If you've been working out with me for a while, you know that we do hip circles and adductor rocks before almost every single workout, simply because they're that effective. And maybe if you've been doing them for a while, you notice how your body and your workouts have changed simply by adding in an exercise like that. In leg lowers here, reaching the heel as far away from the body as possible, trying to keep the leg as straight as possible. And then if you want an added challenge for your leg lowers, reach your arms up to the sky, not letting the lower back leave the mat as you alternate legs. Now, if you have a hard time trying to keep your legs straight, maybe take it a little bit away from the top of the hip, meaning it's not a straight line from the heel to the hip. Maybe it's a little bit of a diagonal. But then you'll be able to feel that you can stretch out that leg a little bit more. Let's head into some down dog leg lifts. Roll the top of your mat, elevate the heels of your hands, bend the knees, tailbone to the sky, straight line from the head to the tailbone, and then when you're ready, lift one heel up and then the other. Good. Really push the hands down into the mat like you're trying to slide into home plate. And I'd rather you have bent knees than to have a curved spine. So really bend the knees if you're having trouble keeping that straight line from the head to the heels. I'm getting some good hip pops here as I lift these legs up. And also, not lifting up through the toe, you're keeping that foot flexed. All right, from here, let's go ahead and come onto our back. We're gonna be doing single leg hip raises. So when you lift up into these exercises, you really wanna think about keeping your knee at a 90-degree bend, the one that's down on the ground. Now all I'm doing is pressing through my foot, pulling my right knee as close as I can to my chest, lifting up, lowering down. Do not rush any of these exercises. If you are really truly trying to work your booty, take this nice and slow and controlled. Pause at the top if you're not feeling it in your booty, and then as soon as you start to feel it in your butt, slowly lower down. Active ankle here too, toe pulls towards the shin, and then when you're ready, go ahead and set up on the other side. So really hugging that opposite knee into the chest. If you have the mobility, you can always hug this knee into your chest. But if you have some tight hips, you might find it's hard to get full extension if you're hugging that opposite knee into your chest. If you're not feeling it in your butt, pause at the top, As soon as you feel the glute and the hamstrings fire up, then lower down. So if that means you're doing fewer reps, I'd rather you do more quality reps than more reps in general. Good. Now from there, we're gonna hit the booty in the prone position, meaning belly down towards the mat. Coming onto the elbows, you're gonna reach the foot on the outside of the heel, and then all I want you to do is lift the heel up, straight line from the head all the way to that extended heel. Tap it down, lift it up, not rushing any of our reps, pausing at the top, really feeling the booty turn on. Foot is on the outside of the mat. Try not to spill over onto the opposite side of the body, and then we'll switch sides. So I really like to set myself up by kind of pausing and holding this first exercise. Once I know I'm in a good position to continue doing the reps, that's when I'll start. Quality reps over quantity. So I really want you to challenge yourself to slow down. Pausing long enough to feel the booty fire up, Good. I think you're gonna like this next one. All right. Next one is a challenging exercise. So if you just wanna hold a high plank, you can. But all we're doing is feet are mat width apart. You're gonna reach the hips back. Come back to high plank position. Again, slow and controlled. Make sure the knees are driving out. You're trying to reach the hips down in between the booty. This is gonna be a lot of quads, but we're doing a lot of our posterior or backside of the body. So we wanna make sure we're countering it with an exercise like this. Try to keep the arms straight the entire time. Straight line from the head all the way to the hips. And then you're done with that one. Let's go back to those single leg hip raises. Starting whichever side you'd like. Pause at the top. And then as soon as you know that you're using the right muscle group, start your reps, but doing quality reps over quantity reps. Try to get the lower back to kiss the mat in between each rep. And if you feel the tendency to want to bring your toes up, I want you to dig all 5 toes down into the mat. Good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So set yourself up by coming to the top position first. Once your foot placement feels good, then start to rep it out. Now, depending on your hip mobility, you might notice that one side is tougher than the other, which is another reason why I encourage you to really slow down the reps. That way you know you have control over these exercises. Try pulling the knee a little bit closer to the chest and pausing for just a beat longer at the top. Digging all 5 toes down into the mat. Good. And then coming into your prone position. Doesn't matter which leg you start with, but I'm gonna start with my left leg because I was just on my left side. Pressing evenly into the elbows. Trying to get that straight line from the heel all the way to the head. Really think about what your core is doing. Remember, foot is landing on the outside of the mat. And then when you're ready, go ahead and switch sides. So set yourself up, come to the top position. Once you feel like everything is good, then start your reps. No pointed toes here, only flexed feet. Toe pulls towards the shin. Pause at the top. Slowly lower down. So don't just let your leg crash down. I want you to control the lowering of your leg. What's your core doing? Is it helping protect your lower back? You can do 2 things. Number 1, press into the forearms. Make sure that you're not slouching down into the mat. And then let's go ahead and come into those crouch backs. I'm gonna try it without rolling my mat this time. So feet are wide. Oh yeah, much better. Slow and controlled reps. You can kind of wiggle your feet until you feel like you're in that good position. But one thing I want to see is whenever you come to this high plank, straight line from the head to the heels, booty is not up in the air, only whenever you're moving back. So this is kind of like a deep squat, trying to get yourself to get a little deeper, control a little bit more. And then there you go. All right. We're gonna be doing side plank extensions. So, fist is pointed forward, shoulder is over the elbow, knees are bent, feet are flexed. You're gonna lift up and lower down. So you're gonna pause at the top and come right back down. Lifting up, really trying to press the hips up and forward. So you want full extension of the hips. If it's helpful to reach this arm up, you can. Don't forget to pause at the top, really targeting the outer edge of the hip. Good, let's go ahead and switch sides. Keep the heels close to the booty. Lift yourself up, find the top position. Make sure it feels good, make sure it feels right. And then you're driving your shin down into the mat while also pressing your hips forward. So shin down to the mat, hips press forward. Once you kind of get to those two movements, you'll turn it into a fluid exercise. Really feeling the outer edges of your hip now. Good. And then let's go ahead and kind of work the glutes, but not work the glutes. We're gonna do a down dog to an up dog. Bend the knees, push the tailbone to the sky. Once you're in your down dog, move to plank, and then if you feel comfortable, come to an up dog. If you don't feel comfortable coming into your up dog, then all you have to do is go from down dog to a plank. Keeping the glutes nice and strong when you're in that up dog. Moving slow, not fast. And if you notice, my arms stay straight the whole time. Exhale helps me get back to my down dog. Oh, good. And then from there, let's come back to our backs. We're gonna be doing a glute march. Name of the game is to slow everything down here. So lift up, knee pulls in. If you want it a little bit more challenging, reach the arms straight up to the sky. So we normally plug the elbows into the mat, but if you're ready for a challenge, reach the arms up to the sky and try not to let the body rock. Toe is pulling towards the shin. Slowly lower the leg down without letting the hips rock from one side to the other. So you should feel the hamstrings, you should feel the glutes. Good. And then let's come back to those side plank extensions. Doesn't matter which side you start on, whichever feels natural. Pull the heels towards the booty, feet are flexed. Find the top position. Once you're comfortable with the top position, you're really digging the shin down into the mat. Don't forget to press the hips forward. You want to get as much bang for your glute buck as you can. And that's going to be you lifting hips up and pressing hips forward. One more. And then we'll switch sides. Whew. Really feeling the outer edges of the hips there. Make sure your fist is pointed forward, pull the heels towards the booty, come into the top position. And then once you feel comfortable, going through with your reps. So an exercise like this requires two things, a lot of mobility, as well as a lot of core strength. So you gotta hold yourself up. So if you're having trouble getting full range of motion, just slow the reps down. Take them a little bit slower, so lift and then lift. Let's go and come into those down dog, up dogs. We are cruising through this workout. So you're either doing down dog plank, or you're coming all the way through to an up dog. Keep the shoulders out of the ears in your up dog position. Think about spreading the chest. Thighs never touch the mat. Toes stay tucked under the whole time. You can stick with just down dog and a plank. If the exercise feels a little funky for you and you're not quite ready for the full extension, I'd rather you do that than moving into something that just doesn't feel quite right. Final exercise of the set, we're doing the glute march. Coming down. So starting in the top position always. And then once you feel like you're in a good position, then you can start to bring one knee in and then the other. So the real challenge is to slowly lower the leg down. The slower you go, the more you're gonna feel that glute and that hamstring fire up, which is what the name of the workout is, right? Booty. Keep the core engaged. Keep the hips lifted. You can use your hands to cue the body. And then I want you to give me one more on each leg. And there you have it. All right, so let me know in the comments below how that workout went for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't let me forget to see your sweaty selfie, and I will see you next time on the mat.